You got the recording option, sir?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Right. Welcome again, sir. Why, sir? Why, sir? Am I audible to you? Dr. Rajesh, am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, 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 you are.
Right. Okay.
नहीं वो कर रहे हैं नहीं वो
Yeah, so all the panelists are there. Can may I request Mr. Appavu and Mr. Prabhakaran sir to switch on the audios and videos, right? Why, sir? Yeah. Am I audible to you, sir? Why, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Why, sir, you are mute, sir?
yeah it's audible.
Yeah.
Audible, please. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
You are audible too, sir, as well as visible.
Good.
Right, sir. Once you're settled, sir, then we'll start the session.
Oh, yeah, that's there.
Right. Can you tilt the screen towards you, sir, a little bit? Yeah. Most why, sir? Yeah. Production, are we live on Facebook as well, live streaming? Right. So with your permission, I will start the session, sir. Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mojo4industry presents digital dialogue on how to make India politically safe. I am Subhajit Roy, your host for this session, and I'm delighted to have you all here with us today. This session is powered by Fluke Corporation, a leading player in the field of electronic test and measurement. Right. In a world that's increasingly dependent on electricity for almost every aspect of our lives, ensuring safety in electrical systems is paramount. However, it's a stark reality that in India, around 34 people lose their lives every single day due to electrocution. As per the National Crime Records Bureau data, in the last decade itself, that is between 2011 and 2020, approximately 1 lakh people lost their lives due to electrocution. This reflects an alarming average of nearly 11,000 electrocution deaths every year, with the number rising to 12,492 in 2022. This staggering statistic serves as a poignant reminder of the urgent need to address electrical safety comprehensively. Today, throughout this digital dialogue on how to make India electrically safe, powered by Fluke Corporation, we will delve into the root causes behind these tragic incidents and explore strategies to prevent future occurrences. We are pleased to join by esteemed experts and thought leaders who bring a wealth of experience and insight to the table. Let me welcome Mr. P.P. Wahi, who is the former Director, Central Board of Irrigation and Power, CBIP. Welcome, Wahi, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All my regards for you, all of you. Thank you.
Then we are joined by Dr. Rajesh Kumar Arora, Senior Manager Technical at Delhi Transco Limited. Welcome, Dr. Arora, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Then we are joined by Mr. Appabu Subbaya, who is the former Chief Electrical Inspector at Tamil Nadu and General Secretary at National Federation of Engineers for Electrical Safety, that is NFEES. Welcome, Appabu, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And then again, we are joined by Mr. Prabhakaran PV, who is the Head Product Management at Fluke India. Welcome, Mr. Prabhakaran.
Thank you.
Right. So our goal today is not only to raise awareness, but also to inspire concrete action at all levels of society, from government policies and industry practices to community engagement and individual responsibility towards making India a safer place in terms of electrical uses. Viewers, after the individual presentations, we will open the floor to your questions and observation in our interactive Q&A session. So please share your thoughts in the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel. We will address them at the end of the session. So let's make today's discussion the catalyst for meaningful change. To start with, I'll invite Dr. Rajesh Kumar Arora. Dr. Arora, you have been very vocal on the subject of electrical safety and making India electrical accidents free. Can you please elaborate on the main reasons of electrical accidents and help us to understand the importance of electrical safety?
First of all, thank you, Roy Saab, for giving me that opportunity to share this platform with the legends of power sectors, P.P. Wahi Saab and Appabu Saab. They are my mentors also. And
Thank you.
it's a matter of pride and honor for me. I am sharing this platform with the These two legends on the power sectors. To start with, first of all, I would like to start with the data of NCRB. If you look at the last 3 years data, and I would like to start with NCRB data are in two categories. It gives that in forces of nature and other cases. And my lightning deaths are coming under forces of nature. And for other cases, the electrocutions and accidental fires comes. If you look at the data of last 3 years, the contribution of lightning out of the total death happened in 2020 was 3,74,000, whereas for 21 it was 3,97,000, and 2022 it has come to 4,30,000. And percentage of lightning is 0.68, 3.1% for my electrocution, and for fire contribute 0.37%. And if we talk about the total deaths, that is around 17,372, including lightning. That means we are losing approximately 15 to 18,000 lives every year. It's a very painful because every day we start with news of electrocutions and fires or accident due to lightning. It's not a death of that 16,000, 18,000 people. There are some people associated with that family also suffers. The dreams of many family members shatters with the death of the bread earners of that particular family. It is high time, it is a wake-up call for all Indians to make this India a safe country to live in. When I say safe country to live in, and everything start with your home, there are so many locations. If you segregate the locations, it may be residential building, single building, multi-story building, commercial building, industrial, substation, generating stations, public places, public possessions, big substations. The list is quite long. But I would like to start with residential fire. That is the most important reasons of fires in India. If you look at your home, even in your home, we are using extension road. Extension road is basically for the temporary arrangement, but we overload it. We put heavy load on extension road. We keep extension road here and there. We sometimes keep our extension rod on our sofa and bed. Then comes switching of your load judiciously. When you don't use your equipment in a judicial manner, it is keep on running. When it is keep on running, it will generate heat. Then comes earthing and grounding of your residential building. After that, the important factor, what I feel is selection of your wire. Class 2 wire should be selected, but in the market, you will find class 5. Then comes proper selections of your MCB. And you have to look at the tripping curve of MCB, B type, C type, D type. Accordingly, you have to choose it. Then comes the quality. Quality of product you purchase. That also matters a lot. After that, condition monitoring, inspections, testings. All these plays vital role. And we have already in place IS 732, which has already described 10 tests to be performed. There are some tests to be done before the electric supply is connected, or in the off condition. There are some tests to be conducted when the system is on, the supply is connected. We have to test the continuity of conductor. We have to test the insulation resistance. We have to check the protection of SCLV, PLV. We have to check the floor and wall resistance, impedance. We have to test the earth electrode resistance, earth for loop impedance, polarity test, test of order of the phase, functional and operational test, and voltage drop test. This is all about the test you have to perform. So far, this residential system is concerned. At the same time, you have to ensure the automatic disconnection of supply in the event of fault. You have to provide additional protection. You have to choose your RCD in a proper manner. There are basically 4 types of RCD: AC type, A type, F type, B type. When you are going to purchase RCD for your requirement, you have to choose this in a proper manner. Proper cooling, proper spacing, proper clearances to be maintained. This was all about at your home. Now, I am going to give you A to Z. From alphabet A to Z, I have jotted down the regions of fire in India. And if we start with alphabet A, we avoid safety rules and regulations already in place. We bypass the safety procedures. We become careless. Chalta hai attitude. Condition monitoring, we are not performing. We are not maintaining the clearances. We are allowing contamination. We are not providing proper cooling. And we are running our extension code and codes under carpets. When I say D, there is a design issue and lack of determination to implement whatever we have designed. There is no enthusiasm to eradicate the causes and educate the people. We have to educate the people. We have to avoid the encroachment near the transmission lines. We have to avoid exposure to exposed live and conductive part. We have to avoid the floating neutral that is called the arcing ground. We have to be firm and focused to follow the rules. We have to provide fire and smoke detector. We should not take safety for granted. We should avoid the poor and inadequate earthing. We have to provide equipotential bonding also. Presence of harmonics in the gadgets we are using at our homes is another cause of heavy current in the neutral. Ignorance and issues of implementations of rules. Judicious use of electrical equipment is another issue, and knowledge. We assume that we know everything about safety and we are not ready to learn new skills. We have to avoid a loose connection. We have to provide proper lightning protection. We have to change our mindset. We have to do the proper maintenance. Negligence towards safety must be avoided. We should not be overconfident. We have to avoid overloading, overvoltage, open electrical panels without covers in the public place. We have to do the proper protection and coordination. When we are going for the public possessions, especially without permission, we have to provide proper safety. We have to provide proper quality of equipment we are using. And there's acute need to do R&D, review our rules and regulations, regular maintenance of equipment. We have to avoid short circuit, proper selections of equipment, especially for wires, MCB, RCD. We have to perform all the testings as per the relevant codes, guides, and we should adopt new technology in place. We have to adopt best practices across world. We have to avoid underrating. We have to give proper training of the staff. We have to avoid theft of the electricity. We should avoid giving important work to unskilled labor. We have to do the verification and inspections of installation. We should avoid willful disobedience of the safety rules. Safety should be the X factor of every Indian, and we must develop yearning in all stakeholders to make India free of electrocutions and fire accidents. And there is a need to create zero harm culture by proper education and training. Apart from that, before I finish, I would like to give 7 golden rules to avoid electrical accidents in industries, in substations, generating stations. It starts with RAHA, that is on-site risk assessment and hazard analysis. After that, we have to clearly identify where we are going to perform the maintenance activity. After that, we have to ask for the permit to work before we start our work, and we have to talk in detail with the persons who are going to perform that thing at site. We have to disconnect all the sources. We have to ensure that in no case these can be reconnected to my system. We have to ensure the absence of voltage, and we have to provide temporary earthing so that the already deposited charge in that system can be discharged to my earthing system. We have to also protect live part and special precautions while working close to bare conductor. Last but not the least, we have to use the adequate, appropriate, and the required PPE to perform that function. And if we do all these things, whatever I have explained, I'm quite sure we can make this nation a safe nation to live in, and we can make India free of electrical and fire accidents. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arora, for making this wonderful opening pitch and for highlighting the reasons of electrical accidents and talking about the A to Z of what needs to be done, and at last 7 golden safety rules. Thank you so much for all of those. Delegates, if you have any question for Dr. Arora, please submit in the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel. So our next speaker is Mr. Apabu Subaya. Apabu sir, you have more than 40 years of experience in the field of electrical engineering and served long in government organizations. You were also actively involved in statutory enforcement of electrical installations. So could you discuss on the existing regulations and standards set by organizations like BIA, CA, or even NBC to ensure electrical safety?
Yes, thank you. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizer, Mr. Subhajit Roy, and our legend, Mr. Vahi Sahib, and rising, enterprising Rajesh Aroraji and Prabhagar, and all the participants. Thank you, Anatol, for the opportunity that you have extended. So, as you rightly said, we have a constitutional right, that is right to live, enshrined under Article 21 of the Constitution. Every state, every government has to afford security to the life of every citizen. So that's the thing. So recently, I have seen a judgment from the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Not recently, some 2 years ago. It is based on the electrocution that occurred to a conductor snapping. Due to a conductor snapping, he went up to the Supreme Court of India. What the importance of the judgment is liability. That is, it's a strict liability. Nobody can shake their hands that, or wash their hands that it has happened, electricity is hazard, it has happened, it is negligent, something like that. You can't say that. So when the people who provide electric supply means they know the hazard. It's something like nuclear, something like that. You know the hazard. So whoever may be, those who provide, who are all responsible, shall be accountable under strict liability. It is not due to the negligence and other things. It's a strict liability. In the specific case, what the Supreme Court have done is they didn't even send a notice to the respondent, to the distribution company. They declared the judgment. So this shows the importance of electrocution and the ever-increasing electrocution in our country, as Rajesh has rightly pointed out. The statistics is alarming. So that's why the act, regulation, codes and standards have everything have been prescribed, especially in the year 2023. A lot of revisions have come into existence in regulation as well as the codes and standards, especially NEC 2023, regulation 2023. So they have all come recently on par with the international practices and factory and field practices. So here, what you can see is everyone is a stakeholder. How it comes, I will explain subsequently. So the first thing we know from the statistics, from the experience, what we know is nearly 30 to 35% of the electrocution occurs due to the conductor snapping to the public. And next 40% occurs in the domestic and LT installations. So these are the people who are handling electric supply, who are suffering. They are general citizens of the country who don't know anything, any major idea about electricity. They think that we are safe, but the thing is, so the very important few points that can be addressed here is, of course, Rajesh has explained the various important aspects of how to avoid. But in my opinion, the major accident, major statistics shows point fingers towards the conductor snapping from the discom and the consumers or owners negligence in providing a initial verification. Once you provide a initial verification, I think Mr. Prabhakar will be enlightening is the circuit verification for the coordination, protection, and everything. It is mandated in the regulation. So why the Act has provided, the Act has provided a central authority, it has empowered the CEA to provide regulation consultation with the government. So the CEA regulation states that every circuit should be provided and only the licensed electrical contractors shall be eligible to provide the installation. Another thing, periodical verification is an important thing to avoid any mishap. It's periodical verification not only by the consumer, it is in the regulation itself that periodicity should be maintained. That is, implementation should be made on every installation by the implementing authorities, whether it is electrical inspector or competent electrical safety engineer or supplier. But it is happening in the HT installations where the accidents, thanks to these implementers, the accidents are minimal in the ST installations. But it's alarming in the LT side where the statutory provisions are totally absent. That is, the inspection of consumer premises is, as of now, it is absent, I can say. So previously it was inspected by the supplier. After the 2010 and 2023, CESCs have been interested in this job. Of course, competent electrical safety engineers setup is yet to happen in our country. And another thing, apart from the circuit and the initial verification, there are certain design, installation, and verification lapses on the part of people who do these jobs. So they should be empowered. They should be provided with the knowledge of what is the act, what is the code says, what act says, what is the standard. Because everybody in the electrical field is not doing as per standards. It's also important that has take place. And Rajesh Arora, as he expressed, the equipotential body. People are not aware of this equipotential body and its importance in avoiding or minimizing the electrocutions. So we are all lured. People, marketing people are tremendously putting their market, their product promotion, and some sort of non-standard things are also happening. For example, when the recent regulation has specifically provided you concentrate on earth loop impedance as far as the LT installations are concerned, people are still providing a lot of earth electrodes that is happening without the proper idea by the installers as well as the consumers. Ultimately, the consumers are, what do you call, they are misinterpreted or they are misguided. I can say that one specific regulation under Regulation 18, that is under CE Regulation 18, as per Regulation 18, the supplier has to provide earth neutral terminal. Up to the consumer premises, the supplier's portion is combined neutral and protective conductor, that is TNC system. The system of TT or TNS starts at the consumer premises. So as per regulation, the role of consumer is to just to provide his protective earthly conductor at the supplier's earthly neutral terminal. This doesn't happen. Why? Because of lapses in the earthing arrangement provided by the supplier themselves. So once this regulation 18 is addressed, we can avoid more than 40 to 50% of accidents, whether it be a neutral cut and damage in the consumer property or a fire that occurring in a domestic or residential installation. These are the things that both the supplier as well as the consumers are not abiding by. Because in areas, there are certain areas where supplier has provided the right way of installation. They have provided earth meter. But consumers fear to connect it because of his ignorance. So if a distribution transformer has hundreds of consumer premises, if they provide earth electrode at their own premises at the entry, then it will constitute more than 100 earth electrodes support to the supplier distribution transformer itself. But this doesn't happen. So on both sides, there are lapses, and there are also some interference with the overhead line, whether it is from the supplier or from the consumer. At certain places, the tree growth and shrubs are not cleared, and the consumers have to cooperate. They have to see whether the to cooperate with the supplier, and whenever the supplier undertakes some maintenance job, they have to give facility to remove those branches, trees. And there are some other places where uh, non-standard practices are also in existence. So these are the main objectives. There are strong codes, regulations, rules, but in the implementation part, it is really missing on the part of all the stakeholders. Stakeholder means I can say it is a distribution company, it's a consumer, it's a contractor, and the designer, and the verifier. So, of course, the regulations have come with the handful of clear-cut regulation for verification, and NEC also provide. If the installer and designer go through this sort of checklist, then they can arrive at a beautiful design, a confident design, so that our dream of making India electrical accident-free India should happen with a wholehearted and passionate compliance of all the stakeholders. This is all from my point of view, Mr. Subhajit. You can go ahead with other. If there are any questions, you will try to address either now or after finishing the other panelists' opinions. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. I could see Dr. Arora is now applauding. It was very well spoken, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Appabu Subaya, sir, for helping us to understand the regulatory framework and importance of compliance with these regulations, and also rightly mentioning why safety is everyone's business. So, delegates, if you have any question, as Mr. Subaya was asking, so please submit it in the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel. Today, despite having regulations and standards, as Mr. Appabu Subaya was mentioning, there are challenges in the wake of electrical safety. Now, I would request Mr. P.P. Wahi sir to highlight the common electrical safety hazards faced in India. Wahi sir has over 53 years of dedicated service in the power sector, including around 35 years at Bhakra Beers Management Board, that is BBMB, and 15 years at Central Board of Irrigation and Power, that is CBIP, New Delhi. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roy, and thanks to my colleagues, Mr. Rajesh Arora, Mr. Appabu, Mr. Prabhakaran is there, and all my friends who are listening me. And it is really a great initiative, Mr. Roy, you have taken. I think I have always been worried yet how to propagate the message on safety, and you have taken a lead, no doubt, Mr. Rajesh. He is spearheading the mission, and I always really love to appreciate him. So that is he's already there, I think they have made my job very easy, both of them. So what briefly I have to say is that electricity is basically an invisible thing. Nobody is in a position to see. People are really, unfortunately, they are ignorant because they do not know what are the constraints for the problems you see they have in their houses, from their wiring, from their switches. Very rightly, Rajesh has clarified many of the things, but still, we have to go a long way in educating the people. That is our sacred duty, and also awakening the Ministry of Power, awakening the Central Electricity Authority, awakening the distribution utilities. Probably they are 65 to 70 number in the country. Say 10 maybe in the private sector, and the others maybe the government sector. And then I say we have to keep on augmenting the knowledge of our engineer brothers who are maintaining the system by and large all in the country. So that their role is also equally very important to see. But I get a pain when I know, you see, that thousands and thousands of the people every year, they die in this country. Even one death, you see, is really painful. And knowing it that this big number, see, it is really very painful. And we all countrymen, not me alone, but all countrymen, you see, we should try to put our best of energies to see that this number in the years to come, the deaths are reduced. Very rightly said by Rajesh ji, that once the breadwinner goes, you can very well imagine the condition of the family left behind. Okay, we get the pain, but we, after 24 hours, we forget the accident has happened in the country. But see the condition of the family members, you see, who are going to weep all throughout their lives, and then ultimately they also die. So this is something, a mission we must help out. But only thing what I want to say, a few tips on the distribution sector. We have got, let me clarify, uh, people who are not in the power sector. We have got three segments in the power sector. One is the generation segment, second is the transmission sector, and the third is the distribution sector. Most of the deaths, most of the accidents, they do take place in the distribution sector, and most of you would be knowing what is there. So what is our main role should be to focus, make improvements, and see that distribution sector there are very few accidents, if at all it takes place, a very limited one. And that too not because of the negligence, that is because of some technical reasons it can be. So what I want to say on the, as the Rajesh ji has already added on the subject. So what to say, that the first is that the people in our country, let us say, like electricians, like contractors, who put up the wiring at our places, in our homes. Few of them are ITI trained, others are uneducated. Basically, they just carry the experience by working with some artisan, and get the experience, and they are labeled as electricians. So they are not licensed ones. So first thing I would require, you see, as a challenge, that we must issue the licenses to all the electricians in the country, to all the contractors. They must be licensed one, not Tom, Dick, and Harry. Everybody comes to you, you say, I'm an electrician and I may be allowed to do the wiring. So it doesn't know anything, doesn't know much, can create. Because if he uses the wrong material, using a wrong size of wiring, use the wrong protection, you see, what is there going to be? We're going to have the accidents like that. So they are required to, the suggestion is that they have got to be, there is a, Government of India has started already the power sector, Ministry of Power Sector Skill Council. They have created many years back. The headquarters is at Delhi, and then they have got their branches, their training centers in the country. So what I wish to say, all the electricians, all the contractors who want to work in the power sector, they must be got trained through them. Maybe they They may be giving training to them for 15 days or 20 days or whatever it's possible. I think Power Sector Skill Council, they can plan better. They must be trained, certified by them, licensed by them, and only then they should be in a fit position to work in our country as electricians or as contractors. So second is that there should be a list of contractors who are authorized contractors in the system, and the work should only be given by us to those contractors. That list should be available in the system. And for making up that list, the distribution company, they can always help us, and this is very essential. We don't give work to any stranger. See, we will face the music otherwise. See, the both the people are very important in the domestic sector. One is the electrician, and the second is the contractor. So we have to basically focus in this area. And then coming to the few other tips, yes, we have to have what everybody in general should know. The protection, I mean, the wiring, the size of the cable should be good. Rajesh has already the proper size should be there, because if we don't have the proper size, there will be loading and there will be accidents. And so what I want to say is that beside the proper protection, like providing for overloading and earth fault protections, like MCVs and ELCVs, or we say RCBs, they are available. They are the electricians and contractors, they know it. So that proper protection should be there. The wiring should be the proper size. Then the panels, the wiring, whatever is to be done in the home, should be properly designed by 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 an authorized person, and exactly the electrician and contractor, they should follow that route, and where the panel is to be there, where the so like that is not should not be in a very casual way of doing it. So it should be as the advanced countries, they do it methodically in the similar manner. So proper earthing has to be ensured. The distribution companies, they extend the earthing, and that should be connected with our house wiring. That should be. If not, then the separate earthing should be created by us in our houses. And then what is there? There should be list of the whatever the authorization as ultimately the certified this after the wiring is done, this certified by the contractor, and then the distribution company gives supply, gives connection. So there should be record, you see, with us. There should be log with us. Who was the contractor, and that record should be kept by the distribution. As the accident takes place, nobody knows who did the wiring, who was the contractor. We want to have the accountability, as our friends have already talked. And let us catch those guys. Why the accident has taken place? Accountability, lack of accountability in our country is leading to lot many problems. And we must be a little strict now. Okay, 75 years have gone. See, we have been comfortable, but let's try to now work up. And then once the wiring is done, there should be independent agency besides contractor and electrician, whether they have done it right or not. Now, of course, request is made to the distribution company. Their boys, they come, they check. But still, there has got to be authorized agency who should take the responsibility. Yes, this wiring is properly done, and has been done in an authorized manner. So then, what I want to say, the our other authorities, this is general things which I've told. Then the other authorities we have to awaken, like we start from, let us say, Ministry of Power, the apex body, right, to the part of the government. We have to request our honorable. We are preparing a blueprint, right? These days, Rajesh ji is on the job, and that blueprint we have to send as igniting power of engineers group to the ministry, to the Prime Minister office, so that they at present we probably find they are not much aware of what is happening with respect to safety, with respect to the deaths, number of deaths. So we want to set a blueprint to the ministry. And rather, I would request, you see, the Ministry of Power to create a separate section, separate wing in the ministry. Maybe the in charge is some joint secretary who should daily monitor what is happening in the country. How many deaths, how many accidents, what are the snag. He should exclusively keep on working in, and then keep on reporting daily to the Minister of Power. He must know what is, he must keep his hand on the pulse. You see, what is that? Because death is not an ordinary thing. Let us say the ministry doing a good thing. You see, in the power sector, I salute them. Very good. The present minister is doing good job. But I tell you, doing a good job at the same time positive, at the same time negative, both things they don't work good. So this negative area, the minister must keep his hand on the pulse. And likewise, then we come to the arm of the ministry is, as you may be knowing, Central Electricity Authority, the technical arm. A central authority is also doing a good job with the present chairman and the member there. They have got a section, so far as I understand, who carry out, as and when any death takes place, any accident takes place, they probably carry out analysis, they carry out the thing. But I wish to say at the moment, we definitely wish the things to be augmented there also in a very effective manner. Whatever the analysis or derivation they have made, they should be besides the accountability, they should be circulated to all the engineers in the country, to all the distribution companies, so that they do not there is no recurrence. Let us say one fault has one death has taken place because of one specific reason, that others learn from it, and the learning process is a must. This technical body. Then comes our regulatory Central Regulatory Commission, another regulatory commission. They also have to provide a bit of help, directions to the distribution companies at what they are doing. After all, they are they are getting their tariffs approved from distribution companies, approved from regulatory commissions. So, okay, regulatory commission, they must keep a watch as a watch body. What is happening? What the distribution companies they are doing? What is their role? Whether now the overall, as I find now, so there have been accidents like it happened at Jaipur 6-7 years back, and exactly when it happened, 14 persons who were going, it blasted. The oil came out. 14 persons were going in a marriage party of that village. So all 14 they died. And it was at the exactly heat of the moment. I called a conference and organized a conference in Central Board of Irrigation Power in Delhi. I wanted to investigate, called the engineers from the superintendent engineer from Jaipur. So we exactly see such things we want to avoid. There is some negligence also, you see, in maintaining the system. Recently, a similar accident, similar to that, happened in Bihar. Very recently, 3 months back. But we are not learning from the mistake. That is what my focus is. We have to learn. It happened earlier. We have to, the engineers in the country, other places, should not happen. Such damage should not take place. Death it is quite painful. It is really very painful, I tell you. So we all have to contribute to avoid such deaths. And not that, besides that, I have to say that we must focus on the other challenges, unscrupulous activities in in our power sector as well. The quality material must be, there should be quality manufacturing, there should be quality material used, there should be quality work done in the power sector, whether it is the construction of the substation, whether it is a house wiring, whether it is, everybody has to see that we try to be very quality conscious and careful also. Sorry, I'm going to give a quote. Today I had a talk with my colleague Yogesh Sood. What he told me, there was the recently, 2 days back, a conference of this PhD, organized by the industrialists here at Chandigarh. The chairman presided. be Mr. Baldev Singh Saran, he categorically mentioned to the industrialists sitting there, I feel really ashamed and sorry that I'm not in a position to deliver much. This is because of the reason that there is some corruption prevailing all around. So what is there? This speaks greatness of such guys. I think people have to come forward. We have to stop the corruption. And
Right.
corruption always the one of the we that day Mr. Ramachandran, he's the tallest amongst us in the transformer industry, say in power sector. So he told his category told yes, the good manufacturers who make quality transformers, they are running away from the scene. And now you can link up my words. Now you can link up my words with this thing. Once unscrupulous activities are there, this is the interest of the nation is getting forgotten. And what is there? The losses are going to be there. The losses are in crores. That besides these deaths, the losses. Now let us say there is 1 crore transformer in the country, costing about 70,000 crores of rupees. Many are dying. You see, the age of the transformer is about 25 years. They die in 2 years. They die in 3 years. They die in 4 years. So you can very well make up, sir. Very well make up. Sir, where are we heading for? Where we are? After
Right.
the money belongs, this is 70,000 crore transformer. Let us say even if 15% damage of the transformer takes place, let us say 10,000 crore is wasted. Who is going to? How can we be prosper? How we can be, we can be compete with other countries? How we can live, we can work efficiently.
Right.
So these were my feelings which I've tried to convey, I think, and I wish everyone all the best. You see, Mr. Roy, you've done wonders, helping us participate today with you. Thank you so much for your efforts once again. Thanks.
It's our pleasure for we have been able to get you at least in this particular platform. It's great for me that I'm sharing a platform with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Vai, for highlighting the common safety hazards, best practices. No, and most importantly, bringing out some of the flaws in public procurement policies. So, delegates, if you have any question for Mr. Wahi, please submit it in the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel. The role of technology in enhancing electrical safety is becoming increasingly significant with advancements in various fields. Now, Mr. Prabhakaran PV from Fluke India will talk about how technology can contribute in making the electrical system safer. Over to Mr. Prabhakaran.
Thank you, Mr. Roy. And once again, thanks for inviting us and making this opportunity for us to share the dais with the veterans of Indian industries like Vahi sir and Apavu sir and Dr. Arora. This is a great opportunity for us to showcase how we can contribute to making India safe. That is what I would like to show. And before getting into this topic, I will just introduce a very brief introduction about Fluke. That's anyway you have given. I'm just making that. Fluke Corporation started in 1948, just 1 year after we got independence, by a great individual called John Fluke Sr. in his basement, making the best accurate power meters for his previous employer, that is GE General Electric. And today we are around 4,000 employees across the world and having manufacturing facilities in many locations in Europe, US, and Asia. And in India, we have a large facility which is having multiple engineers, that is like 250 engineers working on the engineering and design aspects of our products. When he started this company, he was actually thinking about the safety. Safety is the first job because he was testing instruments for electricity, that is electrical engineers. Then he thought the safety as the first one. And then he also thought the instrument which is used for measurement must be a trustworthy, rugged, reliable, and accurate. When you are doing any measurement, and if you can't rely on that measuring device, then all the calculations went wrong. And you can't depend on the readings what it gives. And we still believe in providing better value than what the customer pays. That is what the motto what we live with. And this is the individual who started this great company. And this is because of whom I am here talking about these products. As everyone of us talked about the electrical safety, the safety is basically the protected conditions, right? When you are safe from all the kind of injuries and dangers, it is called safe environment. But what is electrical safety? Electrical safety is a mechanism of a kind of system, an organized way of methods to adopt to avoid electrical accidents and ensuring the safe method of functioning of electricity. As everyone knows, electricity is a good slave and a very bad master. If you are allowing it to become a master, it will play havoc. If you are not controlling it, it will play havoc and create a lot of tragedies in our life. That's why it is better to control it and respect it and make the appropriate decisions in the right time to avoid safety risks and ensure that the people are reaching home after their job with the same smile and able to see the people back home. Why we get shock? Interestingly, we get shock primarily because of a few things. One is in the entire system of electrical engineering, we, the human being, are the least resistant path. Our body resistance is just 1,500 ohms. Okay, that is very least resistance for electricity. That's why electricity can take a easy route to its origin through a human being. But if your earthing is proper, as Apav sir and Vahi sir correctly pointed out, if earthing is proper, then there is no way the electricity will take a route through you. The best thing is to ensure the earthing is proper so that your protective systems are working and it is not taking you as the route. And of course, you have to use your PPEs to ensure that you are protected always when you are doing electrically related works. And definitely what kind of accidents happens, even a 1 milliampere or a 5 milliampere of current can create a kind of heartbeat stopping. And 30 milliampere is good enough to kill you. Okay. And this depends on how long it is applied to a human being, then the severity of damages will be more. That is why you can see all the RCBs or the ELCBs what you are taking has a capacity of 30 milliamp. You have to provide a 30 milliampere ELCB or RCD to protect your facility. And this is basically, if you are doing it properly and testing it while installation and periodically, then you can ensure that your system or the installation is protected to the designed specifications. As everyone said, the NEC is a good step towards achieving a safer India. I am very happy that the IS 732 or the NEC 2023 is talking about the selection, erection, verification of installation of the safer installations. This is very good. And it also talks about what are the kind of tests you have to conduct. Every facility has to conduct to ensure the safety of their facility, especially in the low touch, that is low tension installations. That's a very good initiative. And if every one of us follow the proper testing from the contractors, from the owners, from the engineers and the authorities who supposed to implement these standards, then we will be able to achieve a better, safer India. And here you can see, we are talking about polarity test, insulation resistance, then the loop impedance, phase sequencing. There are many things which we are talking, and this NEC is talking. And this is what actually you need to ensure that it is functioning so that you are safe and your facility is safe. Now, how Fluke helps you? When Fluke designs a product, what we do is we design a product according to IEC 61010 design standards, and then test it to ensure whether it is meeting that standards, and then get it certified by at least 3 agencies, like UL or CSA or TUV, and get it certified before it get into any market. That's any of our product which gets into your hands are actually the safest instrument. Why it is required? When you are holding a multimeter or a electrical measuring device, what is in between you and the electricity, which is very dangerous, harmful thing, is only the instrument or 2 wires and the instrument and you, right? And anything happening in that instrument, if that instrument is not safe, then it is unsafe for you to use it in an electrically charged condition. And every place, you also must know the category of electrical safety, category 1 to 4, which is also notifying that what is the kind of transient expected in each of the levels. It can be 2 kV to 8 kV or 12 kV in this entire chain. And you have to choose the test instruments and appliances and equipments in your system accordingly. Once you do this, then some extent of the beginning is started in safety. And how do you test all those testing things before you, many a time, you know that your ELCB is not working when some tragedy happens, because you have occupied that facility, you thinking that it is safe, and you never tested that ELCBs or RCDs. But here is a tool Fluke has launched many years before, maybe more than 30 years before, which is a complete all-in-one installation safety tester, which actually provides testing feature for the loop impedance, earthing, installation resistance, RCD response time, and even the earth resistance. Everything it can test in no time and without even tripping your facility. And this is a product which we sell it in thousands in developed countries like Europe and Australia. But in India, we were trying hard, but yes, I am very happy to say that in the last 2 years, we are able to see an uptick in people adopting this product for safety audits and safety inspections. That's a good sign, and India is towards the journey of safer India. And this has many different models. Anyway, we will you can reach out to us. We will be able to help you to choose that models. When it comes to electrical safety, even electrical safety is applicable for everyone, and it is more important for the patients and the hospitals. You would have seen the accidents happening in hospitals. How do you ensure that your X-ray machines are electrically safe? For that also, we have products. We have the appliance testers. We have the products to test the medical devices for its electrical safety. These products are specifically meant for that. And if anyone in the audience is from the medical community or instrumentation community, or even for the people who are using, when you are using a kettle in your facility or at your home, you have to ensure that the kettle is actually electrically safe, and it is not taking, it is not putting your system into troubled waters. And if you want to do, then these are all the products required for you. Then comes the earthing. Earthing, I have seen many of our people thinking that, okay, earthing is a tough subject, and many engineers don't even understand what exactly the earthing. Okay, and people want an instrument which always gives the right value. You just imagine, if you want only an instrument which is giving a right value, you may be getting wrong ideas, wrong things. I have seen people using very low cost products for air testing, which always gives a resistance value of 1, and they are happy. But when they start using a reputed make of instrument, what actually they will find is the resistance is much higher than what is expected or what is approved by any of the agencies. And by doing that, what you are doing is you are fooling the system, and you are thinking that my system is good. But when some tragedy happens, when some electrical short circuit happens, the electrical high current will not pass through the earthing. The protective system will not work. That's why ensure that you are designing a proper earthing and maintaining it appropriately throughout the lifetime of your system. And this test equipment will help you to ensure that the designed earth is functioning and the functional earth is functioning to ensure your facility is running smooth. That is how the earth needs to be tested. And apart from this, you also have many other tests. Okay, earth testers is definitely one, because once this earth is good, then definitely you can ensure that the safety networks or safety systems is functioning properly. And the appliance or installation tester will ensure your equipments and the devices are functioning and is not gonging off or letting you down in an event of emergency. Then power quality is another issue, which we have not discussed today, but power quality can play havoc in your safety system. Power quality can trigger false alarms. Power quality can actually give troubles into your productivity and the safety of your systems. And for that, what I would recommend, even the agencies or the distribution companies to ensure the power quality what they are giving, and even the customers what power quality they are working is maintained up to the specified standards, to use a proper test instruments to identify what exactly the power quality they are running. Then thermal imagers, whenever there is a power quality issue, whenever there is a electrical overload, whenever there is a unbalance, all these conditions, the thermal conditions varies, temperature goes up, and a thermal imager can be a very good tool to ensure a safety audit. What kind of temperature variation is happening, whether there is a loose contact, all those kind of things you will be able to identify using a good thermal imagers. Or thermographer is a good essential tool for industry. Then underground wire and pipe tracers. In fact, when you are dig your underground for any future constructions, then what happens if there is a live wire? It is better to ensure that there is nothing live. Use a underground pipe or cable tracer to ensure that there is no live wires where you are doing the construction. This is a good tool to use. And similarly, we also have acoustic images which can actually show what is the kind of partial discharge happening in installations. As we all know, that majority of the time these transformers burst, or some of the high voltage incidents happens because of the partial discharge. And if you can identify that in the right kind of time, from a distance, a safer distance, yes, you can save a lot of lives. And we have those kind of entire gamut of testing devices which can be dependable and accurate for your electrical safety journey. And to conclude, I would say that we need a stronger commitment. We need a bit of common sense to not to follow or not to avoid safety principles, and a bit of respect to the safety and fellow being. When I say fellow being, it can be a human being or it can be any others, because the highest casualty in India due to electricity issues are, I think, cattle. That means we should have the respect to the fellow being, and we should have the common sense to ensure the safety in every level, and every one of us must be an evangelist for safety. And that is the only way we can make India electrically safe. This is all from me. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Prabhakaran, for presenting some of the innovative technologies that can enhance electrical safety. Can you just stop screen sharing, sir? I want everyone on the screen. Sure. So we are already running out of time, but with the permission of Vice Sir, Apabu Sir, Rajesh, as well as Mr. Prabhakaran, I'm going to extend it for another 10 minutes or so for Q&A. So just let me quickly go through the questions that we received today. There are quite a few requests for PPTs delegates. Gentlemen, you might have seen that there are not much of PPT presentations we did today, because it was a kind of what we thought of, that coming to a platform and do some brainstorming rather than just putting the thoughts on PPTs, apart from the presentations on product from Mr. Prabhakaran. So we do not have much of presentations, PPT presentations today. So sorry for that. So I think someone is asking from Make Solar, Make Sanli. Nowadays, many builders, Apabu, the question is for Mr. Apabu, sir. Many builders are designing the home inverter and battery placement over the kitchen and bedroom loft at the height of 12 to 13 feet. Is there any regulations for rule for this?
In general, Regulation 14 provides you observe the standard measures. There ends the matter. The standards, not only standards, we should be diligent. It's only a generic approach. See, we know that battery has some potential discharging capability. And it can also have some toxic gases. Then what's the necessity of providing it in the what do you call the kitchen or in the bedroom? That itself, no regulation is required. It's out of common sense that you have to. As of now, regulation can't fix. It will become. It is just a guidance. It will refer all the standards. It's just a guidance. If at all anything missing in the standards and other things, it will be reflected in the regulation. Otherwise, regulation itself will become a very big 10,000 page guidebook. So you can know it from the battery standards, manifest recommendations, and if it is specifically pointed out any of the standards, Rajesh, Aurora, some other people say, it will be a learning for me also, because I am speaking out of a common sense, not as per standards. Please do.
Right. There's a question, I think Mr. Dr. Arora can take it. RCCB's installation is mandatory as per CE regulation 2023 for commercial.
Yes.
Yes. There is regulation 44 that talk about the installation of RCD. It is as per the CA safety regulation 2023, and it also recommended by NEC 2023, released by BIS. These two documents you can refer.
Right. And there is a very, very valid observation as well as question. I think Mr. Vahi sir can take. Mr. Vardajana sir asking that unfortunately I could see that even in the reports of electrical consultants, like what you were mentioning a few minutes back, sir, lot of mistakes are found, like not mentioning the correct standards or leaving that column open or mentioning obsolete standards. In one recent report, I have seen that the separate earthing for LPS, which is against the standards. If the consultants who are paid or for their knowledge do these things, how do you expect the customers to question the consultants? He's saying that to avoid this, there should be a panel to qualify consultants for all jobs. That's the observation he made, sir. Why, sir?
Yeah, this is yeah. Are you getting me? Are you getting my voice?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, okay. What I want to say, that is how I have said, the people, I mean contractors in particulars, I'm focused in my view that in case they are not doing the job properly, they must be blacklisted. The soft attitude, you see, is going to create problems for the accident. I tell you, they are not abiding by the rules. They are not abiding by the specification. And then what for the contractor is there if he's not a proper guide for me putting the wiring at my place? What for, you see, and he must be penalized. That should be, that is what I've said. We must have a list of authorized contractors in the system, duly approved by distribution company, and only those guys should be picked up who really have the knowledge about that. See, at least basically, I'm very clear about the contractors, what our role should be. Otherwise, we are going to face the music.
It may sound little offbeat, or maybe like comparing orange with apple. The common sense what Mr. Pavagaran sir was talking about. We need, a trained beautician, but not a trained electrician. So
very right, sir. You are very right. Exactly, and that is how we suffer, sir. Also, the beautician can make you beautiful, but the electrician, they can make you die.
Exactly, sir. I was just thinking of putting this. There's one more observation on the standard, sir. As per which Indian standard or CE regulation it is mandatory to carry out the electrical safety audit or verification to the industries? If yes, please share the clause and its frequency. So first I'll go to Rajesh sir, then Apabu sir.
Clause number 33 of CA safety regulations talk about the testing of consumers installation. Apart from that, again, I have already said NEC 2023 has already given recommendation for testings and verification. That must be done to avoid
Right.
happening every day.
Right. Apabu sir, want to add something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would like to supplement a few points on the earlier questions because
Yes, sir.
one Mr. Varadarajan has put one question whether separate earth electrodes. Exposed to the audience perspective, I would like to say that
Right.
generally standards provide what should be done. What should not be done will not be available in many of the standards. However,
Right.
in IS 732, there's a specific page with a picture. You should not do this. What you should not do this? Providing separate. They have provided one picture and it is available. You should not do this. Pictorially it is said. So in spite of that standards, regulation and with pictorial representation of the standards, it is figure, you can refer figure 44 of IS 732 2019. So you please refer to figure 44. It is against the standards, providing separate earth electrodes. Another thing, some person has asked about whether it is mandatory to provide RCD for 15 years.
Right.
See, we are investing several lakh and even crores of rupees in a home and expenditure, recurring expenditure also. So what is the problem in providing a RCD that can save our life? It is
Right.
of 2,000 to 3,000 at the maximum. Do we require any standard? It is in the standard. As Rajesh Arora told, it is in the standard regulation 44. Whether it is applicable to the old and new building, these are not required to be debated. Another thing, it is something like a helmet. You provide, you save your head. You provide RCD, save your home from electrocution.
Right.
You don't
Right.
require any standard. Another thing, safety, regarding safety audit, there is no specific provision to insist safety audit. But as Rajesh ji explained, there are specific provisions which mandates implementers. There is an implementers part to check each and every installation of consumers once in not exceeding 4 years. That is a statutory obligation. The country has to make it, either through the electrical inspectors or through the competent electrical safety engineers. Coming to the periodic inspection, as I rightly told and Mr. Prabhakar explained, the first thing, if you do everything set right in the first thing, then we can be comfortable throughout our subsequent life of the plant. Also your equipment and your safety. So you do require a periodical inspection also. As per NEC, there is a specific chart providing periodical inspection. My request to the participants is just to download 3 important documents. One is Central Authority Regulation and another NEC 2023 and IS 732 2019. You just, this is the information age, just furnish the search word RCD, it will come. You furnish the search word, you will be guided. So we have to, this information age should help us to know more, though whether we are fully competent engineer or not. Whenever doubt arises, you check these 3 vital standards of our country. This is my request to the participants.
Wonderful, sir. So there's a question from Mr. Kashyap Gandhi. Quickly, I'll take that. New electrician doesn't know how 3 phases are distributed in already wired connections at home. So
Yes.
that many times there are chances of accident. So there are many times no.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
But what I can say is, normally once your problem arises in a residential apartment or in a combined flats, the people will provide earth electrodes initially. After 2-3 years, it will be submerged by some other upcoming drainage system or some other thing. Ultimately, you can check, there won't be any electrode unless the electrician himself is traced and he points out, I have put an electrode, it is here. So it is always better to have a SLD, to have a learn marking and protect the earth electrode itself from the access of your children and your cattle or other living things. Because earth electrode is to save our life. If it is exposed and supply line, there is no provision in the supply line to cut off the shock current. It begins after RCD begins within your home leakages only. So you just protect your own earth electrode to avoid fatalities to the people nearby. Trace the earth electrode, provide the place where it is located. Not only for earth electrode, cable routing also.
Right.
Electrician will know from the, for domestic premises, it's very simple. Once he sees the main DB, he knows where the circuit goes. It is electrician not trained for that. They will find out, no issue in those things.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Pallavi Mukherjee from Mumbai is asking that what initiatives does corporates can do as a CSR so that it can also help every residential society to have electrical, say, Bharat? Yeah, Prabhakaran sir, would you like to take that?
That is
I think Rajesh,
fantastic-
Prabhakar, please.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. That's the best question I heard today. At least somebody is thinking about making it some initiatives in terms of making more awareness. The CSR initiatives, this can be a very good one. We can start to educate the safety aspects from the school levels. See, today, the biggest tragedy what India has is everyone who is getting an engineering degree or a qualification may not be even able to operate a fire extinguisher. That is a tragedy.
Right.
When there is a fire accident, how do you react to it? And that only can save life. And if we can create these kind of teams which can teach the societies, that is the residential societies or the school kids, how they can do the safer life and how they need to approach the electricity. There are many things, leaflets, there are activities we can create. There are live demonstrations we can create, or even the companies who can create the kits which can demonstrate all these aspects of electrical accidents and other things. And it can be donated to the education institutions. There they can train the people. These are all can be, many things can be done. And if we have the people, we will be happy to even join hands in that kind of initiatives. Thank you.
We too commit to for the same. Yeah, Wiser.
Yeah, Mr. Taking your time.
Right.
What issue I really want to augment the idea, CSR, Prabhakaran has done a great justice giving his views. I also was saying that until and unless we educate the small children or even the college students, even what we are not going to accomplish anything. I tell you, even if I was thinking, even if there is one lecture in a school, in one class, in a month's time, and let us say there are 10 lectures or 12 lectures in a year to the children. Plus, they have a prayer meeting. Their principal, you see, is there already. You see, standing. Let the principal brief a bit to them in the morning. Sometime, let us say once or twice in a month, educate a little on the safety and accidents. I think many accidents will be saved. Don't take it what is going to happen. You see, in a short span. But let's take the in a longer span, what benefit we are going to get. And I salute all of you, all the friends you see who can help as a CSR activity, because once you people come forward, we are going to be richer in deliverance and saving accidents.
Right, right. We are totally running out of time, but then also one more question I think Dr. Arora can take. Which regulations are to be followed for solar panel installation and EV charging for domestic use? Quickly, I'll take that question. And
Let Mr. Arora take the remaining parts. Okay, finish.
Yeah. First of all, as very rightly said by Apau sir, that is going to be a takeaway of that session also. We must have 3-4 documents already available in our Almira in our bag. That is the CS Safety Regulation 2023, NEC 2023, IS-732, IS-3043. You must keep all these documents ready, and that should be the part of your hobby to read it out. Every time you read, you get new interpretation, you understand new thing. And I can tell you one thing, if you look at the clause number 18, Arctic terminal on consumer premises, if we work on that thing by distribution company and the consumer who is using that earth point, and we understand the different earthing systems, IT, TNC, TNC, TNCS, TNS, TT systems, how this behaves, how that protection is provided. We understand the basic fundamentals because there are three parameters: voltage, current, and frequency. If we understand the five important hazard, it starts with shock, it starts with a thermal effect, it starts with the overcurrent, it starts with the overvoltage, then the lightning.
Right.
I can assure you one thing, we can minimize the accident happening every time. And your question was related to use of what you were saying?
Solar, rooftop
Yeah.
solar as well as
There are two separate chapters in CA safety regulation. That chapter 11 is for EV charging station, and chapter 10 for renewable energy. That talks about the safety to be practices for renewable energy as well as for EV charging stations.
Hats off to you, sir. Hats off to you. Dr. Arora, I know. Remembering all those codes and standards, it's really, really a Herculean task, I know. But
And
so,
at last, the final request to all the participants.
right,
We should have to work together to make our India accident-free country. We have to educate people, whosoever comes in our contact. We have to educate them. We have to talk about the importance of safety. We should not forget the accident we look at in the social media today. We should not become thick-skinned. We have to take step. We have to make people aware. We have to take step to implement already available regulations in place. With that,
right.
we can make this country, our nation, our India, free of electrical and fire accidents, and we can save a sets of crores of rupees that have direct impact on our taxes as well as on the tariff we are paying.
Right. Very well summarized, sir. Well, on the same line, sir, may I request Wahi sir, Appabu sir, then Mr. Prabhakaran to spare your 30 seconds that how we can make.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roy. I just was eager to convey one small message
Right.
to the audience. Must keep fire extinguishers, maybe of small size, you see at their places, at their homes. Everybody. Don't wait for, because at the time there is a fire in our homes, that small extinguishers is going to be really very, very valuable.
Right.
And I've seen, you see, at my son's place, you see, there was a small fire catching up. I was not at home as my daughter told. Wooden box, there was ply peeling off with time. There was fire, tape was there. The tape got naked. The ply just came near to that. It caught fire. But see, just sheer chance. See, our adjacent guy was electrician. He switched off. But what I wish to say to everybody, must keep, whether any building they are staying, even any installation, we always keep in the installations also. Everyone, there should be small fire extinguisher.
Right.
Of the appropriate size.
Yes.
Side.
I would like to focus because
we must.
Most of the points have been covered by our people. It's in shortest time. What I can say, only one point is, most of the electrocution occurs at certain range of human body current. And in that body current, for example, there is a graph, an internationally accepted graph, where the human body can withstand certain milliamps, say 200 milliamps within 500 milliseconds. So after this range only, the ventricular fibrillation, your total electrocution can occur. But most of the electrocution, before electrocution, people become breathless. That's a cardiopulmonary action gets stops. So the school children should be given a training, and general public should be kept aware of CPR technique, cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Right.
That is, it is a must. It should be done. There are cases I have seen in the electrical accident investigation where people have been recovered by simple CPR technique, spontaneously done by the nearby kith and kin till the ambulance arrives. After 1 hour, there are cases after 1 hour of continuous resuscitation, the people, most of the people have survived. So it's a must ask, Mr. Our own audience have asked, I think it's Pallavi Mukherjee. It's a right question. Right question. The school children should be educated. At least let us have a next generation who know the basic safety aspects. Let us not expect our generation. Let the next generation comes with a awareness of giving CPR technique or observing the basic rules that is required for to face the electrocution or electrical accidents.
Right.
These
So
are the-
equipping ourselves with adequate knowledge, like Dr. Arora said, with fire extinguisher, like Mr. Vahi said, and with CPR techniques, as Mr. Appavusa said. What Mr. Prabhakaran has to add to this?
Yeah, in fact, what I would say is we have to take the ownership of safety. That's every individual has to take the ownership of the safety, and let us not leave it to somebody else, and start safety journey from our home and ensure our home is safe, our kids are safe, our family is safe first, and then ensure the India is becoming safe. If
Thank
not today, tomorrow.
Thank you. So, 3-4 feedbacks I'll just read. Mr. Ramji Pandey, an electrical contractor from Nasik, is saying that it was great, informative, and reality check sessions. Thank you. And
Thank you.
So this Rajendran is saying, thank you very much, sir. Feeling happy to hear valuable information from today's all seniors. Being a civil engineer, I'm interested to get my friends civil engineers in future programs. Thank you so much, Mr. Sudesh. Stay tuned with us. Ms. Pallavi is saying that excellent, Appavu sir. Thanks, Dr. Arora, Mr.
Thank you.
Wali, Mr. Prabhakaran sir, and Mr. Roy, like me, for excellent insights. MEC Sal is saying that sounds like a fantastic title. So thank you so much, all of you, for the feedbacks. It actually inspire us, encourage us to. With that, I just thank you once again, Mr. P.P. Vahi sir, Dr. Rajesh Kumar Arora, Mr. Appavu Subba sir, and Mr. Prabhakaran PV for your time and participation. And my apologies for overshooting the time by around 30 minutes or so.
No. Thank you, Mr. Roy. Thank you, Mr. Prabhakaran. Both of you, a lot of thanks for that.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for your active participation in today's digital dialogue on how to make India electrically safe, powered by Fluke Corporation. As we come to the conclusion of our discussions, it's evident that this is not just a matter of statistics or regulations. It's about safeguarding lives and ensuring the well-being of our communities and at last the nation. One more announcement, as usual, we will premiere an edited video of the entire session on our YouTube channel, Mojo4industry Media, on 7th May at 3 p.m. So please subscribe to the channel and you will soon get the notification. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you for participating and we hope to see you again next time. Till then, take care and stay safe. Thank you so much, all of you, sir. My pleasure of having you. Thank you so much, Vice sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.